Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my horror movie marathon. And today I'm going into like a newer film. Um, Today I'm going into reviewing The Conjuring. So I am gonna say right now, I'm not the biggest fan of the Conjuring universe. I've only seen the movies that are actually named The Conjuring. So I've only seen the first movie, the second, and The Devil Made Me Do It. And The Devil Made Me Do It is the only one that I've seen in theaters. I haven't seen any of the Annabelle films. I haven't seen The Nun. I got no desire to see any of them. Uh, I mean, if you guys remember my Goosebumps review last year, one of the biggest things that I disliked is that the doll Slappy doesn't move at all. All he does is just talk and blink his eyes. And I already knew that that's basically what Annabelle would do. So I for my killer doll movies, like I need to walk around and actually kill people like Chucky. So the Conjuring movies are the only ones that I've seen from that franchise. But the first one was pretty damn good. It's not one of those movies that has people saying fuck a lot or like really gory kills. There is a little bit of blood, but this one's more about the scares and the horror of it, without being like too graphic. And for what it's worth, it does a pretty damn good job. Like I saw this movie a few years ago on Netflix, and while I didn't really see the movie for a while, I do remember seeing the trailers back in 2013, and like that scene where the mother like lights a match in the dark, and then out of nowhere this like pair of hands comes out and just goes like right behind her. That always freaked me out. So it was nice to finally see this movie. But the story is based on real events, where Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga play as the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine, and they're investigating this family whose house has been haunted right after they move there. And eventually they find out that it's the cause of the spirit of this witch named Bathsheba, who possesses the mother and tries to force her to kill the kids, right? It's a pretty it's kind of a simple story, to be honest. They didn't really try until the sequels to give it like a much deeper subplot and twist and everything. Like, because if I remember correctly, the second movie technically had 3 different spirits in the film. And then the third one, like, they go to more than one location. But in this movie, like, they basically stay in one house, and it's the work of one spirit. Even though the Annabelle doll that I mentioned does cameo towards the end. But for what it's not worth, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga do great. Given that the movie was directed by James Wan, there's not a lot of James Wan films that I've seen aside from the Saw films. But for what it's worth, I think that this is one of his better ones. I still have yet to see Aquaman because Aquaman was never really my favorite DC character. But for what it's worth, I think this is one of his better films. The movie is genuinely creepy. Again, going back to the whole like clapping scene, that part, that always freaked me out when I first saw the trailer back when I was in middle school. And even without like the whole graphic bloodiness that I expect from like horror slashers these days, it's still pretty damn effective as a horror film, and it kind of has that whole like deeper connection of a family trying to like stick together, right? And even the whole deeper meaning of Ed and Lorraine, like, kind of refinding their faith, right? Because Ed explains that there was this one exorcism that just terrified Lorraine, and which eventually is revealed to be the nun figure in the second film. But that caused Ed to lose his faith in the film, and by the end of the film, like, he regains it. So that was a nice little subplot. The ending, I think the ending is pretty good. Like, it's again, for a movie that doesn't have any blood or gore, or technically, I don't think it even has any deaths. The ending was pretty intense, since at that point, like, the mother is completely possessed, and like she actively tries to kill her children, and like Ed and Lorraine like literally have to race to stop her. So basically, to end this review, like, it's a really great and damn effective horror film. James Wan just showed that, like, you don't like, ironically, since he helped direct the very first Saw film, this is one of those movies that shows that, like, you don't have to have like all the blood and and guts and people constantly dropping F-bombs to show that, like, that your movie can be scary as hell. So definitely check this out. Like, even if, again, if you're not the kind of person who like watches slashers and is there for like the gory kills, even though the movie's rated R, like, this is like, I'd say this is a pretty good horror film to watch for those who would get too squeamish. But that's it for this review, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another one. Have a happy October.